Hold on a second. Let me take care of something really quick.
But I don't know if it's your thing, like, I'm still trying to figure that out.
All right. So Damien asked me a question. Yeah, Damien has asked a question. Yes, good job. So what's the question he's asking? The fat F. Okay. So F is gonna be the phone. Yeah. So F is from 1 to -3. Okay. So 1 to -3. So this is going to be a triangle. So this is the one. This is a 3/2. Is that okay? For this part, is 3/2. Is that okay? Okay. For here is 5/2 because 2.5, and for here just trapezoid. Trapezoid is 2 plus 3 divided by 2 times the height, which is 2. So it's 5. So it'll be 3/2, 5/2 plus 5 is equal to, why is it equal to -9? Because it's 1 to -3. Because it's changed. So basically, I'll add up this triangle, I'll add this trapezoid, and this trapezoid. But since the boundary is reverse, so therefore it's negative. Next question. Again? Get rid of this. Okay.
My bag. We don't even know what's in your food that you eat, bro. Like God knows we really can't.
Okay, somebody said something? Sorry, I forgot. Two. Okay, hold on a second. Yes, Miranda? H. So let me finish your first questions first. H. So H is 10 minus pi is 4 to 8. So from 4 to 8 is gonna be this part. But the graph is going like this, right? So the graph is like this, then you say, okay, well, let's find out the whole thing instead. Because you find out this trapezoid and this rectangle, and that's gonna give you like something less as 10. Because this is gonna give you like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 spaces. Now I can take out this quarter circle, which is pi. So subtract pi. So it'd be 10 minus pi. Like I say, a long time ago, like I used to give this kind of question to geometry class. When I was teaching geometry, a lot of you guys doesn't have a good geometry teacher. So I will start with like this kind of questions. Now the problem of this kind of question, that a lot of time people pay attention to the shaded area. So the goal is actually not, it's like magic, right? A magic wants you is sleight of hand. You have to pay attention to here. They want you to pay attention here, but they're doing something else somewhere else. So what I'm trying to say is, in this question, don't pay attention on shaded region. It's actually pay attention to non-shaded region. If you pay attention to non-shaded region, it's going to be this one. Well, how do I get this area? Well, it's basically a square take away a quarter circle. And if you find this here, 1, you multiply by 2, and you take away from the square, you find the region in between. Okay, so those are the things that geometry skills that a lot of you guys are missing, and this is a thing that you can build from it. Next questions. Yes, Damien. E. Okay, Apple. What else?
What you lost?
Okay, E. Okay, let's go to E. E is 45/2. -11 to -11 to -6. This +3 doesn't mean it's +3. The reason why is this graph, guys, I cannot talk over you. So this graph is gonna go up by 3. So that means it's gonna go up like this. So we are looking for this area on the curve. This is one way to look at it. So you have to add this 15. Why is add 15? Because your whole graph shift up by 3. Another way to look at it is, can I do this separately? Can I do that as -11 to -6 of f of x? We know that if I integrate from -11 to -6 of f of x, we know that's equal to 15/2, but it's adding to integration from -11 to -6 of 3 dx. 3 is a horizontal line. So that means this horizontal line from -11 to -6 is going to give you a y value of 3. And then so that is 3 times 5 is 15. So it's add 15 on top of it. So two ways to look at it. One is shift the whole graph up 3 units, or the second thing is break the two things apart to find out that's area rectangles. Next questions. On the first part. We're going to go to question 2 for Jacob, but let me make sure that you guys understand this before we move on. I like the last one. The last one I actually make mistake on first period, and I didn't take account into the things. So since area under curve, this is going to be 1, this is pi. Since below the area, so that's going to be -1 minus pi. But since orientation is different, the opposite orientation, so the orientation is went from positive to negative, so it's going to put a negative sign in front of this. End up to be pi plus 1. I made mistake on the first one, on first period, because I thought was below x-axis, and I forgot. I thought below x-axis, I thought it was 1 plus pi, but it's actually -1 minus pi because below x-axis, and that's how I make mistake. Yes, very easy to make mistake on those questions. I will give you as much review today, so that way you know that those are question that you will have to be able to know. So on Friday I only be here in the morning. I'll just supervise you for the test, and I'm leaving to somewhere else. I won't be here the afternoon. So there's no ping pong Friday.
OBC?
BC I won't be here. I guess it's ping pong day.
This time I say you gotta answer your text at the level that's play.
Okay, next questions. All right, so let's answer 2. So for this particular question, as 197/2. Now I'm gonna do it very slow for you to understand. So Jacob, pay attention. Here, I can draw a random line, and I don't have to be exactly accurate. I just need to find out where the x-intercept is, which is at 3/2. So that's equal to 3/2 right here, because I can set 2x minus 3 equal to 0, x equal to 3/2. Now we know that there's some type of triangle here. We know there's some type of triangle here. We don't need it by scale. We don't need it by scale. We just need to figure out the height and the base on the rectangle. So we know from here to here is 8. And we know here to here is -6. So we say, okay, so how far is -6 to 3/2? Well, it's pretty much 6 plus 3/2, right? So this is 7/2, right? So which is 15/2. Is that okay? From here to here. That's the base. From here to here is from 1.5 to 8. So 1.5 to 8 means 8 minus 1.5. So that makes 6.5. So it's 13/2. Is that okay? That's the base. If I want to find out the height just plug in the 8 into here. you will find out the height. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 3 is 13. What's the height of the other side? 15, positive, not negative, because of absolute value. So then all you gotta do is 15 over 2, right? That's the height. That's the base times 15 times 1/2. That's gonna be this. And then 13 over 2 right here times 13 times 1/2. And add them together is 394 over 4 and 197 over 2. So I just need to figure out the height of a triangle. If I figure out the height of the triangle, if I figure out the base of the triangle, then I'm good. Questions? Yes.
On the test, like, can we simplify that?
You don't need to simplify this. Yeah, you don't need to simplify. 394 over 4 is same thing as 197 over 2. Questions? Now this one just gonna be negative 9 pi, and that's the answer. Some people did the homework and they checked the answer on decimal, and yes.
Why 3 is negative 9 instead of 9?
Because it's 0 to negative 6. Yeah, it's really easy to mess those things up. Just really be conscious as to which boundary from which boundary to which boundary. Okay, so can I move on? Okay, so some people says they have a question about this one. Hold on a second. They have a question about this one. It's not a question about this one. They say integration for secant tangent data. Integration of secant tangent data is going to be secant data, and it's going to plug in pi over 3 and plug in like negative pi over 3, and you got answer of 0. But here's not a problem. It's a problem when you plug in the decimals. Try on the decimals. See if you come out the same answers. Try to get to your phone, type in the function on decimal. A lot of people didn't know on decimal. Now decimal, unfortunately,
I try to just leave error, so I don't know if I wrote it wrong or if
exactly. Why is this error? Why if you type in this and you got error? What'd you say?
I mean, decimal said it's need parentheses near second.
Secant x. Yeah, you need a parenthesis of secant of x and 10 of x. You don't need to have both, but usually you have both. So if you type in right now, if you don't have a parenthesis, they're gonna come an exclamation mark on the side, which that's what happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's the things that you have to pay attention to. When you check on decimals, so you rather realize this now than later, because this is more important to realize now. Because later on when you're on AP exam, it's like, why it doesn't work out? Well, you didn't put a parenthesis. And that's an easy fix. But it's better to understand now. That's why when you're doing homework, you have to check your answer, because you find out a different type of learning. What?
Can you explain 3? The order.
Yeah.
Because how do you get like the points and stuff?
You just know that 36 minus x squared, that's the radius is 6.
So it is just does the square root not really matter when you're trying to find the radius? It's just
No, square root of 36 is 6. Though.
yeah.
Okay, so can we talk about today's stuff? Okay, so today's stuff is really easy, just average value. Now, average value is, always think about average value. Every time when I say value, I always think about y value or yu. Instead of thinking value, is always y value. Now, I'm going to start with talking about some type of infomercial I have saw like 6 years ago. I didn't realize this when I saw this infomercial. This information was this math person was trying to sell his superb math teaching, and I was like, okay, that sounds like something like I would do, but he was talking about a very basic understanding. A lot of people don't understand math when you're doing it, and I was like, wait, so what do you mean I don't understand math? So he said he pointed out an example. He pointed out like a very easy division sign. That says 12 divided by 3. And he says a lot of people don't understand this. 12 divided by 3 is equal to what? And yes, you guys are genius, right? And then you say, okay, well, what happened? If you ever in 3rd grade, it's going to tell you this 12 and this notation, right? What the hell is that notation? And this is 3. What does that notation actually mean? Why is that right angle over there?
I don't know. It's easy for a second grader to understand.
No, actually, nobody knew and nobody talked about it. What do you think that right angle mean? Why is that right angle? Can I just draw a triangle for division? Why do I do a right angle? What'd you say? Somebody said something over there on that side.
It's like area for it.
Right. It is area, because if you draw a dotted line here and you draw a dotted line here, what do you see? A rectangle. The area of rectangle is 12. Right? And this side is 3, so what is this side? 4.
Oh.
And when I watched this infomercial, I was like, oh man, I gotta buy this guy's program because this guy's so smart. I literally I was thinking about that. Except that program costs like $1,000, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna spend $1,000. But this is a good idea though. So because he says people don't understand what division mean. Like really, like we divide stuff all the time, but we don't know what they're representing. And he says that's very, very crucial for people to understand, is to understand when you're doing something and why you're doing it. Okay, so yes, that's a rectangle with area 12, and this side's 3, the other side has to be 4. That's what the top part is. And just basic understanding of that can apply to calculus. Here's a calculus. Average value is equal to 1 over b minus a, integration of a to b of f of x dx. And that's the average value. Then you say, wait, what's 1 over b minus a? Right? So I'm going to show you what happened. Let's just say, for example, I have this function, y equal to x squared. And I got this. I'm going to exaggerate a little bit, so it's going to scale up 2. So it's like this. I got this graph here. And obviously, there's area under the curve here. If I do integral, right? If I just do this part, is the area under the curve like this. Is that okay? But this is A and B, right? This is A, this is B. So what's B minus A? The distance between A and B, right? You divide by that, right? So what happens if you take the area, it divided by that? You're gonna get a height. So you are gonna get a height of a rectangle. Where that particular rectangle area is equal to area under the function. So what am I trying to say is this. You're going to get this area of the roughly right here. The green area is equal to the red area, but the height of that rectangle, the height of that rectangle. You just have revelation about Shaw method.
Wait, no, the old question.
What question?
One that says something.
It says height of rectangle where.
The height of a rectangle where that rectangle area is equal to area under the curve. So what I'm trying to say is this area right here is equal to this area. And this here is the average value. This here is the average value. So for example, if I want to find the average value of this, I just do x squared dx between 0 to 2 and 1 over 2 minus 0. So this is going to give you area under the curve, right? Which is integration from 0 to 2, which is 1/2 x cubed over 3 between 2 to 0. And this is 1/2 but 8 over 3 minus 0. So be 1/2 times 8 over 3, which is equal to 8 over 6, which is equal to 4 over 3. So we know the 4 over 3. Why is 4 over 3? Look at here. This 4 over 3 is the height of this rectangle that is equal to this area under the curve. Okay, so that's the average value. So here I want you to find the average value of this. Can you find average value of now, a lot of time AP exam will always ask the average value. It's not hard. Just be able to take integral and divide it by the intervals. So it's integral divided by interval. That's easy way to remember it. Integral divided by intervals. I'm going to say that again. I may want to write it down for you. Average value, the good way to think about it is integral. What? Definite integral. Divided by intervals. Because 1 over b minus a is divide. So on your AP exam, if they will ask you average value, just take integral divided by intervals. That's it. It's that easy. Yes.
Did you say divide by interval or interval?
Intervals. Intervals. You're gonna get two-digit number added to be 7.
Yes. Three-digit number that
Yeah, it's very easy. It's not bad.
I literally like
We should teach it out here. Audio catch. I think you if you have audio, you'll be better. If you have me, you should have no problem. The trick should be very easy. The reset doesn't have problems.
It's crazy. I thought I solved the question. Yeah. Am I doing wrong?
I'm really surprised how Jesus can solve it. I'm very, very surprised. How's he doing, brother?
Better? Like, you know how to use the and just follow it.
Yeah, you're like.
So he's still international student?
Does that work?
He's gonna try fixing it in UF and FSU.
Oh,
Only for
He's
free.
gonna try fixing it in UF and FSU.
Twice, whenever you
Like all the little kids.
so did he fill up the form wrong?
No, they're saying Common App or whatever it is. It's saying he's an international student.
How can you fix it? Can you fix it?
He's trying. Yeah.
Where does it say?
Common App.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he applied to all the colleges through Common App.
Okay, what time we get off here? 4 minutes. Okay. So integration. This you should end up to get 16. So now there is something called. It's never usually tested. It's called mean value theorem for integral. So if I just do integration of 3x squared minus 2x between 1 to 4 dx, now 1 over 4 minus 1, so 1 over third. And this one's going to be integration of x cubed over 3 cancel out, minus x squared between 4 to 1. So it'll be 1/3 times 64 minus 16 and minus 1 minus 1. So that is equal to 1/3 times 48, which is equal to 16. We know the average value is 16. Now here's the thing, there's something called mean value theorem for integral. Mean value theorem for integral, remember mean value theorem from back then. So mean value, well, you have to know. I asked you like 3 times on the test, and I asked you multiple times. Mean value theorem is f of b minus f of a over b minus a is equal to f prime of c, with if f of x is continuous and differentiable. That's why you find the slope and you find the derivative, you set it equal to each other, and you find out where that slope is equal to the secant line. So that is going to be slope of secant line. For example, you have, let's say A and B. You have this, where this slope here, the purple line, is same as a black line. So this is the C value, right? That's a mean value theorem for derivative. There is another one called mean value theorem for integral. So what is the mean value theorem for integral? This is derivative. And mean value theorem for integral is this. is basically f of c is equal to 1 over b minus a of a to b of f of x dx. And you'd be like, wait, that's the same thing. This is the average value, right? Now, in here, it's basically, they will tell you at this specific x value is going to give you the output. So what I'm saying is this. I have this area 16. Somewhere between 1 to 4, the x value is going to give me 16. So what you can do is take that function, 3x squared minus 2x, and set it equal to 16. Because if you do that, you'll find out that 3x squared minus, well, 3c squared actually. So 3c squared minus 2c is equal to 16. So it'd be 3c squared minus 2c minus 16 is equal to 0. I don't know, I'm going to use the box method even though you guys don't like it. 3c and c, and 2 and 8, I think. 6c and 8c. This one need to be, which one need to be negative? This one's to be negative. So 3c is equal to 3c minus 8 times c plus 2 equal to 0. So c equal to 8 over 3 and c equal to negative 2. It's not negative 2 because negative 2 is not between 1 and 3. It's 8 over 3. At the 8 over 3, it's going to give you the height of 16. So you're basically finding the x value rather than finding the y value. Okay? So that's mean value for the integral. But anyway, this part is rarely tested. So yes.
Why do you change the
Huh?
why do you change the x to c?
Because that's what I said, f of c is equal to that. Because it's negative 2. Negative 2 is not an interval between 1 and 4. Yeah, I grade one of them's right here, but that's one of them. The other one's still finishing.
What about if I learn to divide different ways? Like
What?
so you show the theory, or I don't know what it was it like 12 divided by 3, it's like a rectangle. But because I studied in different school, we learned differently, so we wrote it like that.
Watch is gonna be
And we wrote the answer.
I don't know. That's interesting. That's in Belarus.
I mean,
Yeah, it's funny because the division for standard division is this way, right? Standard division, and in Latino countries like South America, they use division like this. They write it backwards.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, so they write it backwards like this. But I don't know. Belarus like kind
Kind
of
of like the hammer.
the hammer.
Wednesday against school up a little bit. Wait, where's the part you were explaining the average? A little bit higher, a little bit higher. Yeah. Minus that.
And you know what I thought?
Seriously.
For the one son.
Yes, bro. That was.
I said, sister, are you okay now?
Yeah.
Does he like you? You are, he just, you don't know that. Because I
No,
thought.
I think I didn't eat. That's why I have a huge headache.
He's outside over there. Oh my god.
Bro.
Yeah, if I can jump up here, you actually better like.
I know he's here.
Wait.
Did you do your homework?
Yeah, I didn't write it. I did it on Desmond's. I didn't write it down. Makes a lot of sense. I actually watched the video on the show, because it actually made a more visual sense. Because when you're doing, because I was confused at first about when you're doing off axis rotation, about like when to adjust the R value instead of just having it as X. It made a lot of sense when I watched the video.
Which reading?
I did one by the chemistry guy. Wait, watch it.
Organic chemistry?
Yeah, that guy. I don't know
Why I don't like it?
I know, like, I just did it to, like, see one part of it, and I mean, kind of, like, the work that he did made sense. I wasn't really listening to what he was saying.
Bennett?
Yeah, I said I was talking to him.
Bennett understood it though.
Yeah, he said, but he was like, but I can't
No.
explain it to you. He said, I don't get it enough.
Yeah, Bennett.
I said, I don't get it. I tried my best, but then I said, there's something not right about this. And they don't want to watch it. I need a job, but not today because I have to go to. I have to go to the wisdom teeth place. So I'll probably miss something. Not for
All right, did you finish your homework?
It's you.
All right. Shh. Homework questions. Which one? All of them have shown.
X equals 7.
Number 4? Yes. 3 or 4?
That's fine. You could do that one too. I just need the shell for something. I tried that one, but I don't think it's right. Notice how I watched
Nelly, help you?
And before that, Alejandro was helping me. It's like 7 I shut up all the way right now.
I shut up.
Okay, so 3. So first of all, I'm gonna have a functions, and it has a cross like this, 5, x equal to 5, and a y equal to 3. And the function's gonna look like something like this. I have no idea. I need to find the intersection, so let me go ahead and find this point here, at least the x value. So in order to find that, I'm gonna say 5 is equal to e to 2 minus x. So ln of 5, wait, 3, it's 3, I can't do 3. 3 is equal to ln of 3 equal to 2 minus x. So x equal to 2 minus ln of 3. So this is going to be 2 minus ln of 3. Is that okay? And this point is going to be e to the negative 3. Are we okay here? And then it's rotating around this axis, y equal to negative 1. Well, basically, you start by washer. Let's say we start by washer. It's gonna going from here. That's the outer bound. We know the outer bound is gonna be 4. And the inner bound is gonna be this. So hurry. Let me copy it here so I don't have to recopy it. So copy. And inner so outer bound is gonna be, sorry, let me redo this again. The outer bound is gonna be from here to here, which is as a big R, which is we know the big R is equal to 4. Is that okay? The small r here. So I draw two arrows. If I draw 2 arrows, that means 1 plus something. So then it'll be 1 plus the function, whatever that function is. So here, if I want to do this is dx washer 2 minus ln 3 to 5. So that's going to be integration of 2 minus ln 3 and the 5. And the top bound is 4 squared minus the bottom is going to be 1 plus e to the 2 minus x squared dx pi. Is that okay? So washer is no problem. The problem is the shell. The shell has different rotation. Okay, the shell has different rotation, so I'm going to draw it here. It's rotating here.
I'm looking at that one you had there. What's next to that 4? Because it looks like 41 squared.
No, 4 parentheses squared. Yeah.
It just isn't super curved.
Okay, so now we are rotating. What is rotating? Well, we're rotating a parallel line that looks like this. This line is rotating. It's gonna form some type of shell, like right here. So imagine that shell. It has, this is the height of a horizontal rectangle. So it's gonna be something like circle like this, right? It's gonna have this, just that one thing. Now, of course, you're gonna have different layer inside to form the shell method, but this is the one of the layer for the red line. So the red line has a height. The height is gonna be the difference between those 2 points, right? So we know that we are doing from we know that this is a dy. Is that okay? We know that it's from e to the negative 3 to 3. Is that okay? That's very basic. Now the problem is with the shell is integration from a to b 2 pi r and h. Whether that this, so in this case it's going to be dy, so it has to be everything in terms of y, right? What will be the r? R is the distance from here to here. So what will be the r? Yes, Kushan?
Y plus 1.
Yeah, it's because this is 2 arrow, right? It's 1 plus y. Does that make sense? So this one is 1 plus y. The height is the difference between two functions. But then you want to get it from exactly here to here. And you say, okay, well, I know the functions from here to here. So we can do, I can do the 5 minus the function, which is the green take away the blue to get red. So the red is what? The red is, the green is what? The green is, I'm even gonna color code it for you. 5 minus the blue, what's the blue? 2 minus ln y, so 2 minus ln y. And then integration from a to b, which is e to the negative 3 to 3 2 pi. And that should give you the same answer. I don't know. Yes.
How do you make the R
No, it is
1 plus y instead of like 1
It's the
plus
negative
2
1
minus
plus
L and y?
Because it's the distance from the axis rotation to here. Then to here is, depends. If you have this right here, right? If it's longer or longer, it's more upper, higher. It's gonna be, this gonna be the y value. And this gonna be the 1. So it'll be 1 plus y.
Can you do one of the shells when it's like in x time, like x equals 7, or that equals?
Yeah, can you try it first though? Try, you try it first.
I got this one right, and I can do the y ones, and I know it's the same thing. But like,
It's the same thing,
I
yeah.
know, I can't see it in my head.
Yes, Nizar?
For the test, do you want us to like fully evaluate or just like
No, I just care about setup. Evaluation, you do that in Calc 1. For the Calc 1 students.
Oh shit.
evaluating it? Andre got that?
Except for this, he doesn't.
Let's just ask you something.
But
Separate
then
in Calc 1.
if there's a line here,
I'll be giving the equation and evaluation.
Dude, Wyatt was dogging on you today. He's like, oh, the guy who's in the C and AB can't even do 3 optimization questions.
Ooh.
His name is Wyatt.
but why?
Why?
The white kid.
The graph that you just did. And now you're being a riot.
It's just no other.
Wait, Wyatt?
Bro.
Wyatt, no, like you don't know how to do 3 optimization problem?
Like, it's why I think I don't know the optimization.
So this
Who's
one is
Wyatt,
the
bro?
one we just.
White kid.
This is the.
Just the fan, bro. I guess just the fan. I got them so much, bro.
And I
I need to
get.
keep counting.
But then.
Doing too much, bro.
But why?
No, wait, no. I lied.
Yeah, I don't know if Wyatt didn't drink water or didn't eat, right?
And then from here to the
Like, I know like an admin hates me like when I'm supposed to be here proctoring.
No. Then it's.
Well, I say something. I'm, I'm, you know how one of those days I was laying my head down, like the whole period. If I come to school, that would be. I cannot even proctor. I just lay my head down. Oh. But I sleep for like till like 9 o'clock, 9:30, so it was a lot better. And I eat and I drink. Okay, so anybody else still have issue about rotations? It's not so hard. Just look at a picture and analyze the distance. That's the hardest thing, is to see the distance. And if you check out your washer and desk should be exactly the same. So, I mean, cross section is pretty easy, right? Cross section, shell, disk, washer, and arc length. We're gonna talk about arc length.
Wait, but we have a
Can you do question number 4, shell method?
4? Okay. So they say, can I do shell method? The problem is I need you to try and fail. I don't know, like, I never did this problem before. I just assigned them. So, I tried them. Unless you want to teach it, then you come up here. Because I don't want to hear anything else. Okay, x equal to 7. So x, separate. Which line's x? Vertical line, horizontal line?
Asking me these doctors. It doesn't matter.
This is why you get rotation
I
wrong.
got the right answer, Mr. I think I did. I'm not.
X equal to 7. Look, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. I still hear people talking. I cannot talk over you. Either you come up here talk, or you want me talk. So, x equal to 7. So x equal to 7, it's gonna be all the way to right here. Now it's the same rotation. It's this line here. Oh, I'm I'm pulling separate. I'm pulling separate.
can't make fun of people more.
Yeah, I'm pulling separate now. He was telling me this. I was like, okay.
No, don't blame it on me. That's not you.
All right. So this one is x is equal to 7. Now, the rotation is gonna be parallel, right? It's gonna be here. We're gonna do a parallel line here. Is that a dx or dy? It should be dx. Is that okay? Is that right? Okay, so we know it's shell, and we know is from where to where?
E to the negative 3.
To 3, right? So we already did the hard part. E to the negative 3 to 3. Wait, hold on a second.
I get it.
Oh no,
No.
it's from here to here. Sorry, it's from here to here. So it's gonna be 2 ln. Wait, what is it? 2 minus ln 3 to 5. And it's 2 pi in the front, so tomorrow people's gonna mess up because 2 pi. And they're gonna mess up everything because they're gonna put down pi. Shell has to be 2 pi. Okay, so this is gonna be R and H. What is the R in here? R is the distance from here to here. So let's just say to the line that we drew is gonna be from here to here. So what will be the R here? 7 minus x. Why is 7 minus x?
It's the whole thing minus a little bit.
Yeah. Because the axis, this is rotating and this is the radius, right? So it's gonna take the whole thing, subtract the x. And this is the x. Is that okay? So it'll be 7 minus x. Is that okay? Now what happened with the height? What is it?
Minus ln y. I
What?
did the minus, so it'll be for you. It'll be like I evaluated it.
No. From what is this distance here?
It would be 3.
E to the 2.
3 minus a function. Good. 3 minus a function is what? I don't know what's a function. Huh? E to the 2 minus x. Because that's a function here, right? So you can take the whole thing, which is the 3, take away the functions. So that's going to be 2 minus ln 3, 5, 2 pi dx. It's not hard. You guys have to judge the distance. Is to figure out the distance from here to here, from here to here. That's the only thing you're trying to figure out. Can you figure out the rest of them? Okay. We're gonna talk about arc length. Yeah. Yeah. Arc length is on BC exam as well. Okay, arc length. You just have to memorize this equation, a to b, square root of 1 plus, yeah. Okay, you had to make sure that this is a prime, and you had to make sure it's square. Don't forget those. Now this is arc length, like from here to here. So here's my question. Y equal to ln cosine of x. Obviously some type of graph. I want to figure out the arc length from x equal to 0 to x equal to pi over 4. And you don't need a calculator with this. I mean, you probably need it at a final answer, but the answers can be without calculator, can be done.
Did it say x equals pi over 4?
Yeah, pi over 4.